Let's move on to something happier than that. This brings back all of those emotions and kind of rolls them into one. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to talk to you about my top 10 sentimental luxury items. The top 10 luxury items in my collection that have the most sentimental value or that stand out to me for sentimental value. I am excited to do this tag because I am a sentimental Sally. So sentimentality attached to these items is a big part of the reason why I struggle to let a lot of them go, because I get so attached to things. So this tag is perfect for me. I was tagged to do this by Candy from Candy Sweet Love for LV, and I believe this tag was created by Candy and Yoda from Yoda Style, and I will link both of their channels down below. I watch both those ladies. I think their channels are fabulous, so do give their videos a check out down below. So let's get into it because, as I said, sentimental Sally, and there's more than one or two of these things in this vast collection of stuff that holds sentimental value for me, and we've got to start with the first one. And if you're wondering what I'm wearing, this is my new Lily Silk shirt. This was not gifted, not sponsored. This is one of the pieces that I actually buy from Lily Silk. I just really like their clothes, and I think this is so rich looking and I'm absolutely loving it. But that being aside, number one in the sentimental bags, how could I not start with the very first Louis Vuitton Neverfull? This bag is what sparked my absolute love affair and now lifelong addiction with Louis Vuitton. I just love the monogram. This was the first luxury bag that I ever got in my current collection. It's the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the GM size. You can see that she is well worn, well loved. She served me well. She came everywhere with me for 10 years. Every trip, every work, everywhere I went, she came. I absolutely love this bag. I definitely got my use out of. You can see she's been well used and abused. She stays, she sits in my office upstairs and she holds papers because I can't bear to part with her. And that is because I have such a sentimental attachment to her. She was my first ever bag. My husband had taken me to Rome for my 30th birthday. I think we were boyfriend-girlfriend at the time. When we went to Rome, I just decided it was time and I was going to buy this for myself. This was a big step for me to buy this for myself. At the time, she was €550. Wow, imagine that compared to today's prices. And it was a huge deal for me to buy this bag. So I bought this for myself for my 30th birthday in Rome. The GM, I've used her so much. There are so many memories in this bag. She's been so many places with me and I absolutely love her. And she absolutely, definitely is number one in my 10 sentimental luxury items. The rest of these I'm not really going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to go from what is sitting beside me. And number two is this little beauty. Now, there is a story behind this that I can't really go into, but who got this for me and who gave this to me knows that story. They know what happened behind this. They know how much, or I hope they know how much this means to me. I absolutely love this. This holds such a place in my heart. This is such an important thing to me and I just absolutely love it. It is the Louis Vuitton little trunk that comes on a chain, and I use this generally as a card holder. I use it to carry cards. It has the gold chain around it. I will take this out sometimes when I'm feeling uber cool around my neck like this, and my husband will be like, what are you wearing? So generally I wear it crossbody, slung around me like this, and I just have my cards in it, and I carry my phone, and it sits behind me in this display, and it will sit upstairs in the new room because this is really, really important to me, and that's number two on my sentimental pieces. Number three, and the rest of these I can share the story with you, so it gets a bit more exciting. This is number three, and this is my Dior Saddlebag card holder, and I was gifted this by Bestie. Now, if you've been on this channel before, you all know what Bestie is and what he means to me and how much he features on this channel and how much he features in my life. Generally, he is a huge, important part of my life, and he gifted this to me. I think this was maybe the first luxury item that he gifted me. I use this as my Euro wallet. Him and I go to Dublin quite a lot together, so it makes sense that this is what I use. It's the traditional navy oblique, which I absolutely love, and I would love in the Montaigne box bag. It's really important to me. It came from him, first piece that he gave me. I love it. It's just such an emotional piece for me. Number four is this Louis Vuitton Twist bag. I bought this whenever I was in Palma with my friends a number of years ago. We had walked past the Louis Vuitton store in Palma in the evening and it was closed, and this was in the window. My friend initially loved this, but in black, not in pink. So she went in to try it to see if it came in black. It didn't come in black. She ended up with something else, and I thought, because I wasn't meant to be buying. I thought, oh, I'll just try that on. Well, I paraded around that store like a peacock. I absolutely just grinned with this bag. I could not take it off. I loved the black and white in the monogram. When I bought this bag, it was back when I had a much, much smaller luxury collection. I think I maybe had a few bags, but not very many. So this bag was worn to death. Once she came home, and I would not put her in the case, she came home in the Louis Vuitton carrier bag on the plane. I wouldn't put her anywhere. The bag had to come, the box had to come. I wore this bag so much. I remember taking pictures of this bag and sending them to my friends that were in Palma. Every time I used it, I'm sure they were sick of the sight of it, but I loved it that much. I just had to embrace her, and she carries a load of memories for me from that trip. From when I was buying this, I was only getting to the point when I could afford to buy leather Louis Vuitton bags. It was a huge moment, carries a lot of memories for me. Number 5 is this Louis Vuitton scarf. Now, there was a number of things that I could have picked for you that came from my husband, because we've been together for 14 years. There's a lot of things here that he is involved with, and there's a host of items I could have picked that he is somehow linked to or bought or was with me. But this one is one of the ones that stands out. He bought this for me whenever we were married, but hadn't been married for very long. We were going on a road trip to America. We went to Las Vegas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and along the coast along the way, Monterey. It was just a fabulous trip. And it was my birthday while we were over there, and he had bought this for me. This is one of the Shine shawls. He had bought this for me at home, and he had packed this up and wrapped it up and taken it with him in his luggage. And then whenever it was my birthday, whenever we were in Santa Monica actually for my birthday, he then handed me my gift, and this is what was in it. And I had only I think I had the Neverfull and maybe a little bits and pieces of other things. I would only started to be able to buy bits and pieces and follow this crazy love affair that I have. And this was just so special to me. The fact that he'd brought it over to America, that it was all wrapped up. It was in the old chocolate brown box because it was that long ago. I loved the colour of it. It went with so much. It just meant an awful lot. I was pregnant at the time. Unfortunately, that pregnancy didn't survive. There's a lot to this, and this just carries a huge amount of memories for me and is very special. Let's move on to something happier than that and get past that one, and it has got to be this. I don't even know what number we're on, maybe 6. I bought this for myself for my 40th birthday, and for me this was such an achievement. I had always wanted a Louis Vuitton trunk. Ideally, if the lottery win comes, I would like one of those big massive ones that sits like a coffee table in your living room that has the drawers and all. But that would take a lottery win. So this one I got for myself for my 40th birthday. I wanted to do it for myself. There's a theme you may pick up. I'm very independent. When there are things that I want to achieve or be able to purchase or attain, I like to do it for myself. I like to be able to achieve that for myself. And even whenever my husband was asking me what I wanted for my 40th, which turned out to be, that stunner, this I wanted to do for myself. So I ordered this. My SA Anita made this come to life in time for my birthday. She got the painting and everything booked in to be painted exactly what I wanted. I wanted Vivian. I wanted cherry blossoms. I now use this to keep my jewellery inside, and this just carries a lot of sentimentality for me because I was able to finally obtain or attain one of the Louis Vuitton trunks, one of the hard-sided pieces. I got it for my 40th. There's a whole lot of feels involved in that, so this definitely had to feature in this video. Next, and I think we're on number 7, is the California Dream perfume. And the reason this is so sentimental for me is I am one of those people that a scent can transport a million miles. A scent that reminds me of something or strikes a chord or hits a memory can take me right back to that place in the flash of an eye, and I'm there and I'm right in that moment. And this is one of those scents. I got this whenever Bestie and I went to Dublin. I think I had only started my channel not very long. I think it was the first shopping vlog that I put on the channel. Him and I had obviously been going places before, but it was the first one that went on the channel. I bought this whenever we were in Dublin. This was recommended by Mary from Snow 007 on this channel, on this platform, who has a fabulous channel and is also a fabulous person. She recommended this for me. I went down, smelt it, fell in love with it. This came home as part of that haul. I also got a few other things, but this, when I smell this now, it never fails. This transports me back to starting this channel, going down with Bestie, spending that weekend, making that vlog, all about starting this YouTube channel, everything that's came from that, all of the people I've met, all of the people I now interact with, this other dimension really to my life now of having people to talk about all of these luxury goods with, to share the joy with, to share the new purchases with. The scent of this brings back all of those emotions and kind of rolls them into one, because life carries on and you keep going and it becomes part of your daily life. But when I smell this, and especially if I haven't smelled it for a while, I can get hit in the face with all of those emotions, and it brings it all back and packages it all up and just transports me to the middle of all of those feelings, and it's fabulous and it's wonderful and it takes me to a really happy place. So this California Dream is just something else for me. It's very, very special. I did warn you that I'm a very sentimental person. Number 8 are these Louboutins. These were my wedding shoes. These are the Louboutin Fifi shoes. I think they may be discontinued. These are the 100% Strassed Swarovski. Can hardly say that word ever. Swarovski crystal shoes in the silver, and I wore these as my wedding shoes. And I just absolutely adore them. And as if that wasn't enough memory to come rushing back as my wedding shoes, my husband is my best friend. We've been together 14 years. We've been married 8 this year. We have 2 wonderful children, 4 dogs, and a whole life together. So obviously my wedding brings back huge emotions and huge sentimentality and a lot of feelings. But I also wore these shoes as bridesmaid for one of my very best friends who I adore with all of my heart. I wore these to her wedding, and I also wore these shoes for bridesmaid at my mum's wedding, which, if you've watched that vlog, my mum is my hero. She had a stroke. She fought her way back from that stroke. She then got married. She walked down the aisle. Whole lot of emotions in that, and again I wore these shoes, so they were my wedding, my best friend's wedding, my mum's wedding, so these really, really mean something. They sit on a shelf up there as decor and as look what we mean to you and look what memories we give you. I did warn you, I'm an extremely sentimental person and an extremely emotional person, so you were well warned. These just bring back all of the feels. These can transport me, and they're very, very memorable and bring back a lot of important moments for me. So their number, whatever number we're on, I'm not even sure anymore. The next one, which I think is number 10, but I do have a sneaky bonus one over there. But this one at number 10 is the Petite Mal. And the reason that this one is so sentimental for me is I bought this whenever I was in Paris with Bestie for my 40th. I had always wanted one of these. The fact I got it for my 40th, the fact I got it with him in Paris just really means something and makes it very, very special. This bag to me is just, it carries a lot of emotion and memory. That Paris trip when he took me for my 40th was amazing. Buying this for my 40th, there's just a lot in this. This is also one of those iconic bags from Louis Vuitton that I always wanted and I also always loved and admired. But when I first saw this, I remember being in Louis Vuitton with my husband when I first saw this and said, oh, look at that little trunk, back when I was a little less educated in all things Louis Vuitton, and him saying to me, well, why don't you get it? And we looked at the price and there was no way we could get it. We just couldn't afford it. And he was looking at me as if, do you really want it? But we couldn't afford it. And it was just so much money. Still is so much money. But back then we just didn't have it. And now to have achieved it and to have it and to got it for my 40th and to have bought it in Paris just means something. And I absolutely love this and love having this in my collection. Now, my bonus entry is this Teddy Blake bag. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, how is that your sentimental bag or your bonus prize as a sentimental bag? Reason being, when I started this channel, I didn't even have the confidence to appear on camera. I was talking hands for a long time. I didn't even look at the camera. And the reason for that was I was worried or scared about certain people, certain persons or groups of persons coming across my channel and the judgment that would come with that. Because of the job I do in my 9 to 5, because of some of the people that I come across in that, I knew there would be a huge amount of judgment, and I knew there would be a lot of not very nice comments whenever some of these people finally come across this channel. The longer that takes, and I hope they never do, but when they do, I know it's going to come. So for me, this channel was always something about trying to talk about my love of these things, but knowing it was going to be constrained, I suppose, by the fact that I didn't feel comfortable enough to speak on the camera. I then gathered my confidence and I grew in that, and I got to the point of realising, well, if they come across it, they're going to judge anyway. Everybody's going to judge, and you have got to learn to drown out that noise and do what you want to do, because life is very, very short and you should make the most of it and do what you enjoy. And I eventually got my big girl pants on and found the confidence to come on camera and to do this channel the way that I wanted to do it. And I feel so much more comfortable doing it this way, because it feels like I get to talk to you whenever I'm talking to the camera, as opposed to just these hands. So that was a big, big thing for me. And not that long after that, Teddy Blake approached me as my first collab that I was interested in actually working with and accepting. Now, I had a lot of collab requests before that. We all do. And a lot of them were really nonsensical that I just wouldn't even consider. A lot of them were replicas, which I'm not going to do. I had a few asking me to do coloured contact lenses and try to tell you that this is not the colour of my eyes. This is a colour contact. It's not. It's my eyes. Things like that I was never going to do. But Teddy Blake was the first one when they approached me, and I looked at their website and I looked at their bags and I thought I would really like to try that. And I really wanted to try a bright orange bag. And you can see mine has Sounds of Use on it, because this bag actually gets worn quite a lot because it's the only full orange bag that I have in my collection. It's also my mum's favourite bag in my whole collection, ladies and gents. So this does get quite a lot of use, and I will link Teddy Blake down below for anybody that's interested in checking out their bags, because they have and this is not sponsored, this was gifted to me about 2 years ago, this is not sponsored, but they do have a vast array of bags in different colours, shapes and sizes, and it's something you may want to check out, so I will link it down below. So this is coming in as my bonus prize because it meant so much to me that having started the channel in the way that I did and not even having the confidence to own it really and to speak to you and to look at you in the camera, whenever this brand then reached out to me and wanted to gift this to me and wanted to work with me, and I loved this bag and was happy to have it and use it, it meant a huge amount to me that a bag had came from a brand that I actually was really enjoying using, and they had seen something in my channel and gifted that to me on the basis that I would show it to you guys and share it with you guys. And I was very, very grateful that they did that. I was very grateful they took that chance on my channel at the time. So this bag just represents a lot of that and means a lot to me, and it always will. And although my mum will sometimes have a little go at this bag, it just, when it's here, it means a lot to me. Okay, those are my 10 or 11 sentimental picks from my collection. I could go through so many more of these and probably find a story that attaches to them and tell you how they are sentimental as well. But these were the top 10 that came out, or 11, whenever I thought about doing this video and putting it together. Thank you so much for tagging me to do this video. If you have a YouTube channel and you haven't yet been tagged, I would love to see your picks on this because, as I say, Sentimental Sally, and I love hearing the stories behind the pieces that you have and what they mean to you. So if you have a channel, please consider yourself tagged and let us hear what your sentimental pieces are in your collection. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.